What's up, vinyl community? This is Drop the Needle Records coming at you with another video. So this week, what I thought I would do is showcase a little bit of my collection by genre, and I thought I would start with hip hop. But before I get started, if you would, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really helps the channel out, and I love really interacting with the vinyl community. But like I was saying, I wanted to showcase a little bit of my vinyl collection, and I thought I would start with hip hop. I wanted to start with hip hop because I just got through watching the Kings from Queens documentary on Peacock on Run DMC, and it was absolutely amazing. And it got me thinking that I can go through a little bit of my vinyl collection by genre maybe and do a little bit of a series every other week or so. And I thought I would start with hip hop, and I thought I would start with Run DMC. But I am really a big, huge hip hop fan. But I'm kind of an old school hip hop fan. I like hip hop from the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. But I do like a little bit of modern hip hop. I kind of really get into Run the Jewels, Kendrick Lamar, and Kid Cudi. But let's get started right during the video on Run DMC. So in Run DMC, you have Run Joseph Simmons, you have D, which is Daryl McDaniels, and Jam Master J, which is Jason Mizzle. So I thought I would start and showcase the Run DMC albums I have. The first album I have is King of Rock. This is the Mo-Fi. This actually got released in 1985, the original did. And I don't have their first album, their self-titled Run DMC. I did pre-order it on Mo-Fi, so I don't know exactly when that's going to be released, but I really do look forward to getting that. But like I said, this is the 33 RPM from Mo-Fi. I don't know how many they ended up doing, but I got number 556. But this pressing is really quiet, has really good separation on it. It has decent bass. I wish the bass would be a little bit deeper just so you can get that old school thumping bass on it. But this is some kind of cool facts about this album. This is actually the third rap album to go platinum. Listening to the documentary, they said they wanted the album to have more of that guitar rock sound. But some of my favorite songs on here are King of Rock, of course, You Talk Too Much, which there's actually a channel on YouTube. It's a wrestling channel called Botchamania. My son and I really love watching that channel, and my son really likes You Talk Too Much because of that channel, but that song's really good on this album. You have Can You Rock It Like This? Another fact, that song was written by LL Cool J. Also liked Jam Master Jammin'. Cool thing about that, they sampled Billy Squier's Big Beat on there, which is kind of cool. Also liked It's Not Funny, and also Daryl and Joe. Actually loved that track. And then the next one I have in my collection is Run DMC Raising Hell. Of course, this is probably their most popular album. It bridged the gap between just everyone getting into rap. So this was actually released in '86. It sold 3 million copies. This is not the Mo-Fi 45 RPM that was released a few years ago. This is the 33 RPM. I think this one I just got this in November, I believe. I can't remember exactly, but I got number 113 on this. This album was actually produced by Rick Rubin. I love Rick Rubin because I'm a huge Beastie Boys fan, and I know a lot about the Beastie Boys, and I know that the Beasties got Rick to do their License to Ill album as well. It's also produced by Russell Simmons, which is Run's brother. But this is actually the Run DMC, because of this album, is the first hip-hop act to receive a Grammy nomination. On here, some of the favorite tracks on here is It's Tricky. Another fact about It's Tricky, it was originally an interlude of It's Like That. And another fun fact is they sampled My Sharona by The Knack and Mickey by Tony Basil, the 80s song that goes, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine." That song from the 80s. Didn't even know that. Of course, they have Peter Piper. Loved that song as a kid, still love that song today. My Adidas, which actually a fact that I learned on the documentary was Russell Simmons at the time was on drugs, and he started spitting out some lines about his shoes he was wearing, and the band was with him, and they got the idea for My Adidas from that. And from there, after the song was released, Adidas gave them a $1 million sponsorship, which was at that time the very first of its kind. That kind of started the sponsorship deals, I think, a lot at the time, because you know, sports people did, athletes did, but no one in the music industry did. Of course, you have Walk This Way. That's the song that everybody knows. It was actually Rick Rubin's idea to do it, and it was the first song by a hip hop artist to reach the top 5 on the Billboard Top 100. Another thing is they actually had Aerosmith with Run DMC in the studio, and they recorded that track live. Another good song on here, Is It Live? They sampled LL Cool J, and I didn't know this, The Chase, which is a song from the Black Caesar soundtrack from James Brown. I absolutely love that movie. Some cool songs on here is Hit It Run, You Be Illin', and Dumb Girl. And then the last album I have is Tougher Than Leather, which is released in 1988. It was actually produced by Rick Rubin. This is the 2023 version. It's not as good as the Mo-Fi version, but not the Mo-Fi version, but it's not as good as my other Mo-Fi albums, but it sounds okay. But this album is actually probably one of my favorites. It's got a lot of good songs on here. You have Run's House on here, which was they sampled the Soul Searchers and James Brown. Mary Mary, they actually sampled the Monkees, and apparently the Monkees did a song with Mary Mary. I have to go back and listen to that by the Monkees. I wasn't aware of that song by them. They Call Us Run, DMC. Actually, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick, they sampled them from Lottie Dottie. Love that song from back in the day. Another good song on here is Beats to the Rhyme. Actually love Jam Master Jay on his turntable on that track. It's great. Has James Brown and Bob James samples on there. Another one that's good is Radio Station. They actually sample Bring the Noise by Public Enemy. They were actually on the Def Jam label. Tougher Than Leather, the song from the album title. They actually, really cool thing about that song is they have some guitar sounds that remind me of a lot of the Beastie Boys songs that I love so much. That's kind of cool. Not Going Out Like That's another good one. They sampled Public Enemy, Heavy D, which I loved in the early 90s and late 80s. Another good one is How'd You Do It, D? There's a lot of good, amazing MC work on there from Run and D on there. And then they sampled the Meters actually on that. Here Comes the Meter Man. Didn't realize that. Another good one is Soul to Rock and Roll. They actually sampled themselves and Chubb Rock. And then the last song on the album is called Ragtime. Very odd and obscure song. Never really remember that one, but they actually remind me on that when they sing Run. It sounds very similar to Slick Rick, and I really love Slick Rick. It's actually one of the first rap tapes I got in the 80s. But that's my Run DMC collection. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. I plan to show off other records that are in my collection that showcase my musical taste. So let me know what else you'd like to see down below. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to doing more of these. So peace out, vinyl community.